Hi, this is Jared Polak, founder of Entre Results. Love this podcast. Specifically for you in the coaching, consulting, training industry. This is going to knock your socks off today. And it's actually a topic that we go over in our coaching workshops in depth, and we're just going to touch on it today. It's the two most common objections you will find from people not wanting to invest in your products or services. So essentially, how do you overcome these sales objections, or these two most common objections? And we are just going to touch the surface today. Number one, I don't have the money to invest in your coaching, or I can't afford it to invest in your coaching. I just don't have the cash flow right now. If you're focused on coaching businesses, I don't have the cash flow right now to invest in your coaching services. Okay, the first thing we need to do is, before we get into how to overcome these or how to respond to these, we want to assume a couple things. Number one, these people that say, I don't have money, we're assuming that they are fitting within your target market. It's another thing. Like, do they fit within who you're targeting? Because there are people that are not in your target market that really shouldn't be or can't afford your service. So part of it is, are you targeting the right people if they have the objection? Now, so I'm going to assume that this is within your target market, that they can't afford it, because if they're in your target market and they can't afford it, then a lot of times maybe you have to evaluate your program and who you're targeting to begin with. All right. But we're assuming that they're within your target market and they give this objection. And so I will say this: the real reason that they're saying they don't have the time or money or I can't afford it, the real issue is, I don't see value in your program, or I don't think you can deliver on what you say you're going to deliver. That's really more of the issue than overcoming money. And it hurts to hear that. It hurts when someone says that, but a lot of times that's the real issue. However, to respond to the money challenge, here's a couple things to think about when you're talking to your potential client. I mean, how expensive or what's going to be the pain if they don't address or fix the problem? We work with businesses a lot of times, and goodness gracious, like, everybody should work with us if they're willing to take action. Everyone's going to get an ROI with the Entre Results coaching program. Everyone should do it. Again, if they're within our target market. And the expense, the pain, oh my gosh, the amount of inefficiency, the way that we can help businesses, there is no doubt there's an ROI for them. And I believe that. Now, not everyone's a business coach. Well, health coaching example. My gosh, how much pain will it cause if you die when you're 65 versus if you live to be 85? Now, obviously you can't guarantee someone's life, but statistically speaking, how much more productive will they be if they're healthy? There's a lot of things you can, what's the pain if they don't take action? You have to dig in a little bit more, but you also want people to self-realize these things for themselves, but asking the right question. And then the other thing that you have to realize, if someone says, I don't have the money, I can't afford it, well, what's your guarantee? Or what's the risk reduction that you can reveal to them that's going to make it easy for them to make a decision and to overcome that objection? Now, with most of our coaching programs, we have actually all our programs have a guarantee. And so do we share your guarantee? We guarantee results, or you get your money back. That's a common guarantee. So there is no risk. For us, what I wanted to say before is that most of our programs are month-to-month agreements. And so for us, okay, like, it's a month-to-month agreement. You're not risking very much. You're risking your time, but there's really very little risk financially because we guarantee results. You're going to see the results quickly if you take action. It's a month-to-month agreement. So let's move forward. Now, those are things that you can address specifically for money. There's many others that we're not going to have to talk about today. In our coaching workshops, we talk about these things in depth. We hear from other coaches what they do. It's powerful. Listen, like, this topic alone is absolutely vital for you to master as a coach. The second big issue, problem that people object to is I don't have the time. I don't have the time to invest in your coaching program. Now, again, there, at least in my experience, there's only one person that I really come across that really doesn't have the time, and God bless them, but a single parent who has money issues and time issues, can't afford childcare, doesn't have people that can help out with their children, like is running a business. I mean, literally, there are some people that this is a true objection. They don't have the time, and unfortunately, these people aren't growing their business; they're just surviving, and that's where they're at right now in life. And I want to help them, but they just are not going to create the time. Like there's exceptions, but for almost every person that says they don't have the time, it is just not the reality. They don't believe you. They don't believe you'll add value. They don't believe it's worth their time. I mean, there's lots of reasons. And so you can actually go back to talking about your guarantee, talking about the results, maybe showing people testimonials of people that have given results. However, with our coaching program, we address time. So people are busy, but our coaching program actually frees up time for people. We help free up their time. So that's actually a part of our coaching program. So how can you specifically address the issue of time? But ask them, if you're able to free up, if we're able to free up 2 to 10 more amounts of time, what would that do for you? Or you can kind of dig into, is this really important to you? Right? So anyway, the time thing is a big issue as well, but usually it's just an excuse if they don't have the money or they don't want to spend the money or they don't believe you're going to address what you said you are going to address. It's interesting. I'm kind of off the cup thinking about this, but if you think about someone that's a health coach, I mean, how much more time, if you work out and you have a healthy diet and you sleep appropriately and I can help with you with that, how much more time are you going to have in life? It's going to give you a lot more time. Or how much more productivity are you going to be during the day if you do that? Okay, so there's a lot of different coaching programs out there that needs to have some specific answers for that. But if you don't have an answer for the money and the time, you are not going to have a lot of people invest in your products or services. So anyway, I want to encourage you with this, and I want to implore you to reach out to us if you want to dig in deeper. Have a better than amazing day.